This is one of the best LEGO Starscream creations I've ever seen. Heck, it might even be one of the coolest Transformer MOCs I've ever seen. Let's dive in deep and take a look at all the details and brilliant building techniques that have been packed into this awesome LEGO creation. This is Starscream G1 and it's built by SHL Bricks. This is a real beauty. This MOC is 62 centimeters tall, or roughly 2 feet tall, and it has over 5,300 pieces in it. Now, it's of course inspired by the G1 Starscream from the classic cartoon, but SHL Bricks has clearly added their own spin to the design, making it look a little bit more like realistic, a bit more sleek, and because of this, it's starting to look a little similar to some of the live-action movie versions of the character, which I actually think works quite well, a more realistic take that still also honors the source material. That's a win in my books. Now, unlike his animated G1 appearance, this MOC has such a wonderful, angular and agile design. It's not as blocky as he is in the cartoon. So this more agile look is achieved by the use of some of these wedge tiles, as well as a few different types of wedge plates as well, or really just any other piece that has sharper angles or more dynamic lines to it. I think they're really crucial for helping achieve this look. Man, I really dig this aesthetic. Nothing's too blocky or rigid. There's a wonderful sleekness to this design, and it really makes it feel like this robot could indeed turn into an actual airplane since, the jet shares similar sleek designs. Now, while the build was more static and just kind of a display piece at the Scareback fan weekend in Denmark, where I had the privilege of seeing this in person, it's great to see some of these digital renders here where it's positioned in all sorts of dynamic poses. It's insane how lifelike this looks for just a bunch of LEGO bricks. Being able to have such a large MOC still be able to maintain a strong level of posability, that's very impressive. And it's even more impressive to note that the posability isn't really affecting the actual designs as well. Sometimes you have to sacrifice looks for extra posability, but there's a brilliant balance between the two here. That's not an easy thing to do. Now, sure, it can pose in these renders, but it's a little hard to say if it could do those poses in reality. But I don't know, given some of the strong connections that link the limbs together, I'd say it probably is capable of doing that. For example, we can see on the knees here that they're built around at least 4 of these ratchet rotation joint pieces. These are easily some of the sturdiest joint pieces that LEGO makes. Whenever you move them, you hear that satisfying click, so you know it's really locked in place. And 4 of these bad boys, this is going to be strong. Couple that with some of the other strong connection pieces that link other parts of the body, this is going to be able to pose well. I guess the only issue is whether or not it can support its own weight. And on that, there is this stand that holds it up, and it seems that the wings struggle to support their own weight. So the stand aids with that, but it also seems to be supporting the MOC. I kind of get the sense that this is mainly just so it doesn't topple over, or if it gets bumped, it's gonna, still be held upright. Because it's really just grabbing the crotch there for that little bit of extra support, but otherwise it can hold itself upright pretty well. Regardless of whether or not it can do it in reality, it's a good lesson to note that those strong ratchet joint pieces and other connector pieces of a similar nature, they're crucial for MOCs of this size. Not only are they sturdy, but they're going to allow a good level of posability. So if you want to do the same thing, maybe invest in some of those pieces. Now, Starscream's also decked out with plenty of wonderful greebles and other mechanical details that help break up the surface and add a little bit more kind of like visual interest. And honestly, I think these greebles are my favorite part because that's what really sells the Transformer vibe of this creation. To highlight some of the best greebles here, we can see some of these dark bluish grey flag pieces, and they are the perfect addition to create a nice engine or exhaust port look. These pieces appear on a set much like this Black Panther ship. You can see them just up the back here. There's also plenty of gears and other round tiles in varying different sizes, and they look simply wonderful. Combine that with these grill tiles and some studs and some of these stop ring pieces, and you get some really lovely greebles. My favorite ones though are these pieces here that are different colors to the surrounding area. That subtle pop of color offers such a wonderful contrast. It also resembles, like wires and other details. And, in reality, when you look at these sort of techie details and greebles and things, they're not always a uniform grey colour. They're all sorts of different colours. They vary in some manner. So that was an excellent choice to do that here. It's just realistic. Well, as realistic as a transforming robot is, but, we're applying real-world logic to this made-up thing, and it works. This whole foot design is great. I especially love how they've used some of these slightly newer triangular tiles here to create these wonderful stripes of white, red, and a little bit of grey as well. Some other great details on the feet include these little tires at the bottom here. I think this really helps sell the fact that this is a transformer. You know, the landing gear on Starscream's plane mode, well, they gotta go somewhere. So seeing where they actually end up when he transforms into a robot, it just feels right and it just makes sense. I love that they took the time to include that there. You could have left it out and it probably would have worked well, but the fact that that is there makes this so much better. Overall, this MOC is just a sight to behold. Its huge size, its imposing face design, its menacing stance, and its silhouette, it's perfection. It's a shame that this can't actually transform. If it could, that would just be the cherry on top. But, you know, they've captured the essence of Starscream in his robot mode so well. And they've crafted some brilliant mechanical and robotic details in ways that only a master builder could do. SHL Bricks is a genius. Oh, and be sure to check out their social media, by the way. I have links in the description below. He has so many other incredible builds. It's definitely worth checking out and giving him a follow as well. Also, stay tuned because he had a Bumblebee MOC on display right next to this one at the Skateback Fan Weekend, and I've got all sorts of footage of that one. So if you enjoyed this video, there'll be one on that Bumblebee MOC very soon. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this majestic creation. I'll see you in the next video. Happy building, and bye for now.